You're not planning to come home for Christmas, right? I just wanted to check. It's right around the corner, and I want to make sure there's no question about scheduling. Uh-huh. I was planning on coming back on the 23rd, but did you guys have something planned? I can come another time if that's better for everyone else. We want to spend Christmas with just the family. And by just the family, we mean me, your dad, and Katie. We'd rather have you not be here. You'll kinda just be in everyone's way. Wait, what are you talking about? I'm part of the family too. Katie is our only daughter. You really love Katie, don't you? But it would be nice if you could pay a little more attention to me too. It's kind of weird that you're outright ostracizing me. Well, Katie is more beautiful and talented, so it can't be helped. What else can we do? You'd act the same way too if you were in our shoes. It's always been like that since forever. You should know that I'm trying my best too. That should count for something. What? You've been putting in effort. Sorry, I had no idea. I wish you made more of an effort to make it a little more obvious. Come on! Cut me some slack! I mean, I am your daughter. Maya, I don't need a stupid child. If you had something that you were particularly good at, ideally better at than Katie, then maybe I would love you. Katie is better than you at most things, so naturally we love her. I remember you always compared me to my sister inside for that reason. As far back as I can remember, you've always compared me unfavorably to Katie. Comparing you and Katie is just ridiculous. It's like comparing a gecko and a cockroach. Whatever you say. They're both equally disgusting, though. Geckos are different from you. They protect the house. Just like Katie. Mom, I'm sure Katie wouldn't be too happy to hear you called her a gecko. See, this is why we don't want you visiting this year. You're always trying to cop some kind of attitude. You were fine with me visiting until now. Well, you live in New York. I kept hoping you'd bring some decent gifts from the city, but your taste is terrible. Tell that to the millions of New Yorkers who love the snacks I brought last year. I don't want something so trivial. I want something like a brand name bag. I can't be seen carrying knockoffs. There are stores for that too where you live, right? Why do I have to buy it myself? I don't have that kind of money. You could always save up. How am I supposed to do that when you only send $1,000 a month? You can't buy anything with that kind of money. You're also getting Social Security, so that should be enough, right? It's called being smart with your money. What are you talking about? After all, I've taken care of you until now. You should be giving me more. It's called being grateful to your parents for raising you. I understand that, but I can't afford to give you any more money. Maya, you don't earn very much, do you? Katie has to be earning way more than you do. Hey, I work hard too. But if you're not producing any results, then it's pointless, right? You can run as fast as you can, but if you're on a treadmill... Wait, so how much does Katie really make? Many times more than you do. And on top of that, she's also way more beautiful. She'll definitely marry a rich and handsome man, too. So her future overall is way more promising than yours. Mom, it's bad form to rely on your children's money so much. Who do you think has been taking care of the both of you until now? Your dad and I can't keep this up forever, you know. There comes a point in everyone's life when it's time to give back. Mom, I'm grateful for what you've done for me. But your way of thinking is terrible. Say what you want. If you're not going to give me more money or buy me the kind of Christmas present that I want, then don't even think of coming back. My name is Maya, and I'm 29 years old. I only visit my parents once a year these days. The reason for this is that my parents have a somewhat not-so-normal attitude towards me. Since childhood, my parents have always favored my older sister, Katie, who is smart and beautiful. I was always second. I left home as soon as I could because I couldn't stand to be in this situation. Luckily, my sister has always cared for me and treated me kindly. We're still on good terms and frequently keep in touch. I am providing financial support to my parents because they always say that if I don't pay them back for what they have done for me, they will barge into my workplace and cause a scene. I will never forget the fit they threw when I first started working because I was late sending them their monthly allowance. Ever since then, I began to fear for my job and never stopped sending them money. And I'm still doing so now. Honestly, I want to stop and don't want to see them anymore. But I still have the desire to see my sister, who still lives at home. So, as much as I hate seeing my parents, I still decided to go home for the holidays. But I never expected what would happen next. Dad, can I come home for Christmas to at least say hello?
Didn't your mother tell you not to bother?
Yeah, but...
I feel the same. You're not part of the family, so we don't need you here. You'd just be a bother.
Don't say that, Dad.
I have no interest in you visiting us. Katie is the only daughter we need.
Dad, I also wanted to be loved. I am your daughter, aren't I?
You're not a child anymore, so stop being selfish. Always thinking about yourself.
Hey, when have you ever done anything for me?
Maya, I raised you. So be thankful. What more can you ask from us?
You may think it's not much. But by the way, I'm also sending you money every month. So I deserve even a little bit of attention, I think.
It's not becoming of you to try and hold that money over our heads. If you hate it that much, you can always stop.
Oh my goodness. Do you really feel that way?
We have Katie, so we don't need any of your help. Don't ever come near the house again. And don't even think about seeing Katie ever again either.
Why do you have to bring her into this?
I'm saying that you don't have to keep sending us money if you don't want to. But of course, if you do stop, then some severance pays in order to hold us over until we find us another way to get some cash flow. Let's say $30,000.
You're obsessed with money. It's always been that way. The value you place on anything is always about how much it costs or how much it can sell for.
You can say what you want. You can either pay it off in one lump sum or keep making payments as you've been for so long.
If that's how it is, then I don't think of you as my family anymore.
I don't care. We've never really thought of you as real family in the first place. So really, nothing will change and there's nothing to discuss.
I'm also going to stop paying off your car for you, by the way.
What are you talking about? Katie is paying that off. Now go back to sleep and stop talking nonsense. We're not able to pay our mortgage payment for some reason.
Can't you do anything about that? I don't want to be penalized for a late payment, especially if it's something out of our control. Who is this?
What are you talking about? It's your parents.
Actually, I don't have any parents. How did you get this number? Stop saying such silly things. I thought we agreed we weren't family anymore. In fact, you said you never thought of me as your daughter in the first place. That's not important now.
Stop trying to change the subject.
What subject should we be talking about?
We can't contact Katie about the mortgage. Do you know anything about this? You have to know something.
I don't know why you need to contact Katie. I'm the one who is paying it, after all. What? You're kidding, right? Oh, so you really didn't know.
What are you talking about?
Katie quit her job 3 months ago.
never heard anything about this.
She used to work for a pretty reputable company, but she couldn't continue because her boss kept making passes at her and HR wouldn't do anything, so she just quit.
But you told us you just didn't have to go to the office anymore. You know how remote work is becoming more common. So I didn't think much of it.
She couldn't tell you the truth because your expectations of her were way too high. And we all know she's not that assertive. So to avoid any confrontation or conflict, she felt she had no other choice but to start flat out lying. But of course she felt really guilty about it.
So if she quit her job, then how has she been managing to keep giving us money all this time?
She's been juggling several gig-type jobs remotely, so she has some income. Apparently enough to send to you. But it's way lower than when she was working at her old job.
I had no idea. The amount of money she gave us didn't change, so there's no way we could have known.
She was using up all her savings to make sure you wouldn't notice. She would rather sacrifice what she has than have to deal with disappointing you.
Maya, how do you know all this?
She told me last month. She said she couldn't pay the mortgage anymore and asked me for help after quitting her job.
So you paid this month's mortgage, not Katie.
Hey, don't go and start getting the wrong idea. I did it to help my sister, not for you guys. She was having such a hard time trying to make you both happy.
But there's no way you can afford our mortgage.
Your dad's right. So does that mean you're in debt? No, of course not. I paid for it in cash, using money that I saved up.
So you're telling me that you earn more than $2,000 a month?
Yes, quite a bit more. But still, paying your mortgage on my own rent was stretching me pretty thin.
But how? How were you able to come up with that much money?
What kind of work do you do? I never planned on telling you, but I might as well, now that we're on the subject. I run my own company.
You're being delusional. There's no way that you can be running your own company. I know that you've always wanted your dad and me to pay more attention to you, but lying to us is not the way to get that to happen.
But I'm not lying. My company's doing all right. Things aren't going great, but they're not going that bad either, so I have a little extra money. Enough to get by paying for the whole family for the time being.
Wow, you must be serious. Maya, I knew it. You are our wonderful child after all. We are so proud of you. Now we don't have to keep on depending on Katie only. We can turn to you for support as well. This is wonderful.
What are you talking about? We already made it clear to each other that we are strangers, right?
Maya, let's let bygones be bygones. And let's look forward to a future where we are all reunited. Hey, I know. Why don't we move in with you? What do you think? That's a great idea.
Don't get ahead of yourself. I paid your mortgage for a bit as my way of repaying you. But I've had it now. Katie and I are cutting ties with you completely from now on. You'll be completely on your own, and Katie and I will take care of each other. That way you'll never have to deal with me always disappointing you as your non-favorite daughter. It's a win-win, right?
Wait a minute. Not just you, but Katie too. Why does it have to go that far?
It doesn't matter. Katie completely agreed to my plan. She's already moved out. That's why you can't get in touch with her.
What? No way! Really? Katie's room is empty. I thought she had just gone out with some friends and hadn't come back yet. No. Why did she leave? It's impossible. This has got to be some kind of practical joke. Maya, you're really out of line for this one.
If anyone's being out of line, it's you two. It's really low of you to take advantage of your children like you have been. You both should be ashamed of yourself.
What's wrong with what we've been doing? It's every child's duty to support their parents when they grow up. You should know that.
Do you know how much Katie has suffered because of that? I was able to leave on my own, and you made it really easy for me to do that. Katie, on the other hand, not so much.
But where did Katie go? She can't move anywhere without any money.
She's at my house now, and I was the one who lent her the money. She can take all the time she wants to pay it back. How could she just leave without telling us? After all we've done for her. She finally came to her senses after she realized you were taking advantage of her. Even Katie has her limit, and you pushed her to it. Now you've lost her as a daughter. But now our only source of income has disappeared. What are we gonna do? You're the one who caused all of this, aren't you? You started to introduce these thoughts into Katie's head. And now look at us. You see, that's what I really dislike about you two. You only care about money. I've always known you didn't care about me. But you don't even really care about Katie either. And she's even your favorite daughter. How do you even sleep at night?
Money is everything in this world. We need money to live.
Even if that's the case, it's wrong to ignore her suffering and be completely dependent on her. You can't just step all over everyone around you just to get what you want.
What's wrong with that? It's a child's duty to pay back their parents.
Wow. You really have no remorse. If you showed some, I was actually considering continuing to cover your monthly mortgage payment. But after hearing what you said right now, that choice is completely out the window now.
What? Wait! Maya! All of that was a lie. Come on! Have a sense of humor.
You know your father. He just loves making jokes. Always joking around. You have a stunning ability to flip-flop in an instant. You really have no backbone, do you? Sorry, I can't flip-flop as quickly as you two. I stand by my choice. Please! We need the money! We're begging you!
What will happen to our lives if neither of you are supporting us?
Don't you have a retirement fund? It should be enough, right? It's not enough at all! Of course it is. Add that to your social security and you should be more than okay. You just have to stop being so extravagant. You can't buy luxurious purses, but at least you can feed yourselves and have a roof over your head.
It's too late for that now.
I bet if you guys stopped going to the casinos all the time and going out to fancy dinners, you could live pretty comfortably. Wait, how do you know all that? We never told you we do those things in our free time. I heard it from Katie, of course.
Well, if you know how we live our lives, then you should know that we need the money to support it.
I have nothing to give you two leeches anymore. What a horrible thing to say! You're the ones who called me a cockroach. But there are no excuses. I have no intention of being involved with you for the rest of my life.
Wait.
What is it now?
I'll change my ways and make an effort to stop. I'll go to the hospital and get help.
I don't really care what you do, as long as it doesn't involve me.
I really do feel sorry. Please, help us.
We promise. We'll be better parents. Please. Afterwards, our parents kept trying to contact us, so my sister and I blocked them and cut off contact completely. With a car loan and a mortgage to cover, though, they were both forced to start working. They are constantly stressed and argue every day, and have continued to gamble and drink, despite not having enough money. As a result, their debts have piled up and they are being contacted by debt collectors, or so I've heard. I don't want to imagine how they are doing now, and when I try to think about it, it's kind of sad. On the other hand, my sister and I still live together. She has been job hunting and she's got a pretty promising interview lined up with a company that truly cares about their employees. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content. See you next time.